Hi, folks. I'm Richard Friedman, and welcome to my pre-election political cartoon of the day. So this is one cartoon coming at you as a pre-election cartoon for November 4th, 2025. Tomorrow's the big day, so here is the send-off cartoon just ahead of the election for you. Now, give you an introduction here. Here we have former President Trump and potentially the next president of the United States. Here, fists clenched, strong position here. The American flags in the background, and here we have former Fox personality, moderator, and he had his own show for a while there on Fox News, Tucker Carlson. He's staying in the picture. He's still staying in the picture. There he is with former President Donald Trump. This is in Arizona. And this would not have been a remarkable rally except for one thing, that the former president really teed off on Liz Cheney. He took a full swing at Liz Cheney. And what I did was, I have here Senator Lindsey Graham, who's been a very staunch Republican senator, who is a Republican senator and a staunch ally of the former president. He's gone back and forth a few times, but he's now hanging in there. And there he is, and he's just turning around, having watched this rally, and this is basically the former president's attack on former Representative Liz Cheney. And she's been very outspoken in her remarks criticizing the former president, and he's been very upset with her. And this came to a head right here in Arizona, where the former President Trump, he kind of got fired up here, and I'm going to read it to you so I don't leave out anything. Okay. Senator Lindsey Graham, Republican, South Carolina, devout Trump ally, watching the former president and potential next president Donald Trump with Tucker Carlson at an Arizona rally last Thursday, amid Trump calling former Wyoming Representative Liz Cheney and she was a longtime Republican, very well established within the Republican Party and respected until I guess it was January 6th when she broke with the former president, and ever since then she's been hammering away at him, and he's just had about enough of it, and he aimed his stuff at her at this rally, and here we go with that. Amid Trump calling former Wyoming Representative Liz Cheney and longtime Republican, have been very well respected and regarded, a war hawk, basically because of her strong stand in the past on defending America and particularly, I would assume, the Ukraine war. And the former president has not exactly endorsed the war, and just the opposite. He's now saying we have to negotiate with Putin, and a negotiation with Putin means giving up a good percentage of the land that the territories that they've taken in Ukraine. And Zelensky ain't going to, and the Ukrainian people are not going to want any part of that. But the former president says he has a plan to end it in basically even before he's inaugurated. That's going to, So, what he what Reagan did with the hostages in Iran, the day he took his oath. 10 minutes later, the hostages came home. So I guess the former president's thinking of pulling a Ronald Reagan here with Ukraine and getting a peace deal with Putin. And So here's the rest of it. A long-term, well, and he called her a long-time Republican. He called her a war hawk who should be fired upon. That's what he said, and gave the hypothetical situation where that would happen. While raging, which is in the cartoon, while raging against this outspoken critic of him, she's been very outspoken, as I said, given Trump has lashed out at Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, saying, this is what he said, word for word, I think Zelensky is maybe the greatest salesman of any politician that ever lived. Every time he comes to our country, he walks away with $60 billion. See? And then here he is. Yeah. That's him saying that. See? Okay. And he walks away with $60 billion. And referencing Russia, he said, that's what they do. They fight wars. You know, Russia is like the General Motors used to be in the car business going back into the 50s and the 60s. Russia is the General Motors back way then. I'm talking about General Motors in the 50s and the 60s when they had you had your Oldsmobiles and all those other cars, the Pontiacs. You know, remember the Indian Chief on those great Pontiacs? I had a Pontiac Le Mans, boy, that was 1964. That was a great car, dark blue and great bucket seats and everything. But those Pontiacs were great, powerful cars. And the GTO, even they made a song, GTO. Well, those days are over. But I'm making an analogy here to basically the former president considering Russia now as the General Motors of then fighting wars today. And in the past, he goes back to Napoleon, and he goes back, and even back to Napoleon, he references, and also back to how the Russians beat Hitler. So he's giving the Russians really a saying to the, in my view, this is like before World War II when we had. I'm not going to go after anybody. I'm just going to say as an example, there was an American ambassador who represented us in Great Britain and England when they were going through all that, and he said we gotta make friends with the Führer because he's got the strongest army in the world, and we gotta really meet this man and try to prevent war all the way. You know, it's reminiscent of that ideation of saying America, we're up against a superior force and we can't win, and that basically that's what in terms of war. That's what to me that's what it sounds like. And here's what he says. He comes to our country. That was Zelensky, and referencing Russia, he said, this is quote, that's what they do. They fight wars. They beat Hitler. They beat Napoleon. That's what they do. Okay, now, so that's the opposite. Now, this one thing is Lindsey Graham he's really pushed hard on getting arms, weapons, and support, military support, and funding for Ukraine. So that differs with Trump. You see, so that's Trump puts up with him because he's such a great supporter of his. You see, and Lindsey Graham is a senior Republican. He's a very well established Republican, you know, and he ran the judiciary. I think he was the head of a judiciary committee for a while, and he's served on others, I suppose, other committees. So Graham has aggressively pushed for American military aid to Ukraine, and this is a quote from Lindsey Graham. Direct quote, the best money he says, push for American aid to Ukraine aid as, quote, the best money we've ever spent. You know, that's even better than going to the moon. You know, go spending money in Ukraine is better than going to the moon. It's better than anything in the world. And so I'm saying that my view, well, I don't want to go with my view. I'm just saying that this was Lindsey's view, how it differentiates from the former president, you see? Now, here we got, again, the former president here making a fist here. There he is There he is. Okay, and there is, this is zooming on Tucker. Here's Tucker here. Okay, there's Tucker. We got him under the American flag there. Yeah, there he is. There's Tucker Carlson. Okay, now, here's what the former, here's how it went. What word for word of what Trump said regarding Liz Cheney, former representative. Okay, she's a radical war hawk. Let's put her with a rifle standing there with 9 barrels shooting at her, okay? Let's see how she feels about it. You know, when the guns are trained at her face. So he's trying to say that, and he went on to say that it's easy for these people in Washington in their cozy office buildings to go ahead and push our troops into war. You know. So the thing is that he's really basically taking a stand that's an isolationist view of America, basically, that we need to mind our own business and the world will leave us alone. Well, they didn't leave us alone on January 6th. That was September 11th in 2001. On September 11th, 2001, they didn't leave us alone. They didn't leave us alone on Pearl Harbor Day. I think it's December 7th, 1941. They didn't leave us alone then. And a lot of people in America didn't want no part of World War II. They said, Hitler ain't going to bug us. What the hell, you know? We got, the Fuhrer he's just another character coming along. And then you see imagine what would have happened if the Japanese didn't bomb Pearl Harbor, because there was a strong support, again, for isolationistic policy, an isolationist policy in America until that day of Pearl Harbor. So I hope we don't need another Pearl Harbor or another thing like that to wake us up, you know. And I again, I'm going to say one more thing, that former President John F. Kennedy, he even wrote a book, While America Slept, and how the rise of this dictatorship in Germany arose while America slept. John F. Kennedy wrote that book, While America Slept. Well, it could be another book like that, While America Slept Again, you know. So so there it is. Okay, so now we have here a cartoon. Okay, there it is. Now, Lindsey Graham, watching all this, you see, and he a very strong supporter of the former President Trump, potentially our next president of the United States, and he's already voted. So I had him watching this, and he's already come out and said this, that he's already voted everything here, and I added a couple of things, but it's a logical progression what I added as to his thinking. Okay, so here goes Lindsey Graham. So let's get a shot of Lindsey here. He's turning around. Thumbs up for the former president. There he is. There he is. Thumbs up. And he's saying, glad I can now say I voted early for Trump in Walhalla, South Florida, which is what he did say. And also what he did say was, and was proud to have cast my ballot for Donald J. Trump to be the next president of the United States. Now, here comes the cartoon. Now, I have him saying, now I can even say, let's bomb Moscow. You know, he can even say, let's bomb Moscow. Trump say, I didn't say nothing about that. I'm not going to call him a war hawk. He supports me good. You know, so that's the message here in this cartoon, is to say that we've reached a stage where our politicians, basically, where foreign politics can influence foreign affairs in a way here, because we saw how Ukraine, the aid to Ukraine was delayed significantly over politics, and that's the message here: how politics has entered American foreign policy. You see, now you look at North Korea, you look at Russia, you look at Iran, with the supreme leaders in China, with the supreme leaders saying that country goes. You know, there's no politicking, so they have an advantage over us. So we need a president who's going to make decisive decisions and not be politically influenced. And I'm not saying anything beyond that. Whatever you want to vote for, whoever you want to vote for, vote for. But my message, another one of my messages here, message is to get out and vote, regardless of who you're going to vote for. If you're going to vote for Donald Trump, get out and vote for Donald Trump. If you're going to vote for Kamala Harris, get out and vote for Kamala Harris. Okay? I just want to leave you with this thought ahead of the election, that of this cartoon here, and there it is, and there you have it. Okay, I want to thank you for watching this ahead of the political election cartoon, and God bless you, God bless America, God bless our troops stationed all over the world and protecting our country, and I'll see you next time, folks. Take care. Bye.